Reddit son or Tumblr daughter? Both. I'm not gonna answer that. It's another one where I have no preference, but like for the opposite reason is smoothie versus milkshake. Reddit is outwardly very annoying. I do sort of don't hate me for saying this. I'm just an old man raging at a world I don't understand anymore. I do feel like Tumblr going under, essentially like shooting themselves in the foot, and thus letting all the users breach containment, has created some social elements that I find distasteful, just in the sense that, like, I don't know if these are even connected, but this is how they're linked in my head. Like Tumblr going down and everybody leaving Tumblr for Twitter has like a direct line in the chain of dominoes to all those posts now that are like, no movie should ever have sex scenes, they don't advance the plot. Now, I don't know if that's true. Maybe I'm even going backwards about it. Maybe I'm attributing something to Tumblr that's not Tumblr's fault. I'm not trying to damn the site for no reason. You know, I'm just saying that's my inference right now. Hating Tumblr for a Twitter post is crazy. Yeah, but like you can hate jail for crimes or, I gotta, we'll lead as two kings. We'll lead as two kings, okay? I gotta think about that one for a minute. That's like, again, I was never really on Tumblr, but I see it as like, that's Tumblr energy on Twitter. Which is like, I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled for this take, but does anybody else think that it's kind of icky when two adults kiss in a movie? Like, I'm trying this, or like age gap discourse about like a man who's like 72 dating a woman who's like 53. That might not be Tumblr. That could be TikTok. It could be schools. I don't know. Maybe the Tumblr energy is what's helping me learn the difference between tops, bottoms, switches, verses, doms, subs, who drives the car, who chooses what we're going to eat for dinner, etc., etc. That's from Tumblr? Okay, well, maybe, you know what? I'm going to get Tumblr's name out of my mouth then. Have you learned anything, though? I learned a lot, man. I didn't think that the person on the bottom could be the dom. But now that I think about it, I'm like, I guess it makes sense. But like a week and a half ago, I didn't know. I didn't know. I would have assumed that the person spatially on top was necessarily the dom. Can you use this knowledge outside of Twitch? I'm not falling victim to your axiom that all information must have a practical use in order to be valuable. Simply to have some of the mysteries of the world revealed to me has value in and of itself. It's a pleasure to learn more about the blue marble that I'm on the one time that I'm going to be here, man. Brings me a little bit closer to everyone. What if you are cloned? I ask myself that question like every day, man. What if... Don't you fucking do it. I think I left the oven on. Worst feeling? You get 3 minutes into a road trip and you're like, I think that I left the oven on. Should I go back? No, it's too far. Let me just have that in the back of my mind for like the next 6 days. That my house will be burned down when I come back. I go back every time. It's good for peace of mind, but if it was just me and I wasn't late, I might go back. If it was my whole family, though, I mean, you better hope that the stove is on. I guess I could just go inside and lie and be like, yeah, the stove was on and the fridge door was open. Thank God we went back. I can't just go in and be like, yeah, it was closed the whole time. Actually, it was already smoking. This is an honest question. I'm not just, I know I'm going to get a lot of Keck W's and I can'ts. Stove being on would possibly burn down your house, for sure. Oven being on with nothing in it, though, that would just rack up your power bill, right? Like, I don't think you can burn your house down just by having your oven at 350. Your place would probably be warm as fuck. Try it? Well, I gotta ask myself, like, the thought experiment. Like, what is going to catch on fire in the oven, which is designed to keep heat in? Like, at some point, isn't it just like, you know, it's at 350? It's not getting any hotter. A fly on a mission. Flies into the oven somehow, ignites, flies out, lands on my pile of, like, oily newspapers. No! I don't think it would make my whole kitchen 350. Don't get me wrong, it would be, well, I guess it depends on a long enough time scale, sure. But, like, the oven would get to 350, and then it would, like, stop heating, and then it would leach, like, a little bit of heat outside, obviously. And then it would have to heat up again. But it would take a long time. My wife thinks any appliance will burn the house down. Dude, that's like chat. Chat flipped the fuck out at me when I told them sometimes I'll, like, turn on the dishwasher and then leave the house for the day. People are like, you don't supervise your dishwasher the entire time it does the cycle? What if the drainage hose snaps off and floods your whole floor? Well, I guess they'll call, like, some fucking restoration guys or something, but I'm not going to live my life as a hostage to my fucking dishwasher. That's crazy. It's ran through. Is dryer a reasonable line to draw? No, motherfucker. I'll run the dryer and go outside too. I'll run the dryer and go to sleep. I'm not putting, like, petroleum-soaked rags in there. That's too far. I probably shouldn't even say it. Your clothes are not going to light on fire in the dryer. You should be cleaning the lint trap every time. If you're doing that, like, I think you've done reasonably all that anybody could expect you to do. They're not going to light on fire. It's not going to happen. I've been using dryers, listen, 1 to 2 times a week for 20 years. Mine just did. Skill difference. Honestly, what'd you put in your dryer that it lit on fire? Post your dryer right now. Also, info request. Do you clean your lint trap? Yes? Every time? Like, I feel like an insane person. It doesn't, like, the dryer gets hot, but it doesn't get hot enough to, like, I mean, it could light something on fire, maybe, but it's not lighting your clothes on fire. Like, your sweaters are not, it's not even, like, as hot as your oven, man. And your oven only starts a fire if you, like, fucked it up. If you put, like, paper or something in there. The stove, you got to be there. You shouldn't even leave your stove unattended for more than, like, 30 seconds. But your oven, you could turn your oven on, put some food in it, and, like, you know, you could go away for, like, 10 minutes. I probably wouldn't leave the house just in case, but The dryer, the dishwasher, let them fly, bro. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess you can never leave your house, right? Because you got like a boiler in there. Those fuckers explode all the time. You ever see like Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Oh, sorry guys, you can't go out tonight. I'm supervising my hot water heater to make sure that it doesn't explode. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Freeze time? Furnace too? Listen, my aunt thinks a hot tea bag could ignite the trash. The fucking hot waterlogged tea bag? Come on, man. This is getting too much. My mom does this too. And listen, it's probably, if you have the time and the elbow grease, is probably a good thing to do. And also she comes from like an earlier time when like, I mean, shit kind of sucks right now, but I feel like shit was just kind of like broken all the time in like the 1970s. So like anytime we go on vacation, my mom will text me when I'm already in like the Uber to the airport, and she'll be like, did you go into the basement and like turn off your water main? And I'm like, I just tell her, yeah. But like, obviously I didn't do that. Like, if that shit explodes when I'm gone, like, I'm just happy not to be there, I guess. Like, it's just too much, man. It'd take me like 2 hours to reboot my house every time I come back. Yeah, thank you. That's what am I paying for home insurance for? Like, I'm going to submit an insurance claim, and they're going to be like, oh, you went on vacation, but you didn't turn the water main off? Come on. If you're gone for like 3 weeks, you do it right? No, not at all. I never turn the water main off, man. I would have to look in the homeowner's manual to know where the fuck that thing is, to be honest. We got fire extinguishers in the house. That's a gimme, I think. Half of you motherfuckers who are like, I won't leave, what if the dryer like lights on fire, don't even have fire extinguishers, and you're lecturing me about safety. What are you gonna do? Get like a big pot? Hold. Huge deflection? It's only a deflection if I'm wrong, Ben Shapiro. I've never had to use the fire extinguishers, but I'm happy to have them. Me using the Brita to fight a fire. I mean, like, I'm just leveling with you. If I couldn't go outside when my dryer was running, I would never be able to leave the house, honestly. You've never serviced your fire extinguishers, have you? Tyler Durden was right, man. The things you own end up owning you. People are like, sorry, I can't engage in the riches that the world has to offer. I can't engage in jolly cooperation and conversation with a friend and maybe like a delicious meat pie with a side of mushy peas. I'm servicing my fire extinguishers tonight. Listen, I've only lived in this place for 2 years, okay? If those fire extinguishers are expired after 2 years, they got to stop making them with like milk. I got food in my pantry that's older than the fire extinguishers. Well, how could a fire extinguisher be expired? Did they patch fire? Like fire got better? It doesn't pass the smell tests. You must think I was born yesterday. It loses pressure? Okay, before I get even madder, can somebody just tell me what the average time to expiration is for a fire extinguisher? 10 years. Okay, then suck me. They're 1/5 of the way to expiry. 5 years? Okay, they're 40% of the way. Actually, no, we haven't even lived here for 2 years. We've only lived here for 1 year. Those fuckers are brand new. I didn't get them at the Salvation Army, man. Costco ones are 6 years. Kirkland Signature stays winning. You get them checked annually by your fire department? No. I had shit to do, man. Like, this is too much. No wonder none of you own fire extinguishers. It's a full-time job. I believe that, you should take necessary precautions. You should clean your lint trap. You shouldn't cook shit on the stove unsupervised. That's a given. You should use a spatula to flip your grilled cheese instead of flipping the greasy pan over and letting the grease fall onto the element and then lighting your whole kitchen on fire. Now, you take basic necessary precautions, and then after that, shit happens. I look at it the same way I look at wellness, health and wellness, You should treat your body well, but you are still going to die someday. Even if you take 90% of the basic precautions for safety, do not labor under the delusion that you are free from the risk of disaster. They're unexpected. That's what makes them so traumatic. Well, the other part is the fire, I guess, but that's part of what makes them so traumatic. So I feel like you got to chill out a little bit. Because otherwise, it's the same thing with health, right? How healthy should you be? The answer is you should always try to be a little bit healthier. How safe can you be? You should always try to be a little bit safer. Some of you could probably go out for brunch while the dryer's on. Maybe not Origin. They got to call in a technician or something because that fucker should not be lighting on fire. It just doesn't get... You can open it up and grab the clothes with your hands mid-cycle. If you try that shit with the oven, you're going to get grill marks on your fucking palms. But in the dryer, you're like, oh, it's a little damp. I don't understand how it could get hot enough to light a fire if you clean the lint trap. But that's, I'll leave that up to the technician. Yeah, it's wet in there, I wouldn't even say 90% of the time. It's wet in there like 105% of the time. It's still a little wet when I open it up at the end. Then I got to decide, am I going to run it for another 15 minutes or am I going to let that shit dry out ambiently on my body? Yeah, it does. It feels bad, and then sometimes it has a little smell too. But sometimes you get lucky, and even though it's damp, it just has Tide Pod smell. Sometimes you're like, oh, it smells like it hasn't even been washed. No! Just tank it. Brace yourself. Speedrun tech. Bro, get out of the motherfucking way. No, that's worst case scenario. Yeah, Stonehenge. Okay, just wait. You got to anticipate the ball. Great tech on that one. That could have gone a lot worse. That was Bobrovsky. Can I still crack my eggs on the side of the frying pan, or do I need to use a bowl? If I'm making scrambled, I'm a bowl Andy. If I'm making fried eggs, I do it on the side. Well, I don't do it on the side of the pan. I do it on the countertop next to the pan. because apparently it's better to do it on a flat surface than an angled surface, but I say live a little, man. But I will say, like, from someone who had salmonella, I don't fuck around with that anymore. Like, if I get raw egg on my hand, or, like, I touch pork or chicken, I wash that shit like a fucking surgeon. Which I probably should have been doing before, but I was like, you know, whatever. That shit doesn't happen to me. And then it happened to me, and I was like, now I'm washing loud. Let's put it that way. Turns out, yeah, I'm built the same. I am built of the same stardust as everybody else. My boyfriend just wipes the eggy hand on the towel. You know, I can't say I've never done it. I don't mess around with that stuff now, though. Now I go straight to the paper towel. Paper towel goes in the garbage can, then I wash my hands. I'm kind of anal about it now. What about cookie dough? I'll just eat that shit straight out of the tube, honestly. Now, listen. Pillsbury, I believe that Pillsbury made sure there was no salmonella in the cookie dough. The eggs, that's like Mother Nature. Like, you can't tame Mother Nature, but you can, like the Pillsbury company, like they're doing something to make sure that people don't get sick. Right? I mean, I don't buy a cookie dough more than like once every 5 years anyway, but you guys see that food safety Reddit post? I did not. Maybe this is like idiocy, but despite having had really, really bad food poisoning, I still trust restaurants, man. Like, I'm way more paranoid around pork and chicken, and I guess maybe eggs, but like, some people are like, I wouldn't go to that restaurant. I saw a rat in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm not a piece of cheese. I don't feel threatened. What I don't know, like, won't hurt me, man. I think. Well, it could obviously hurt me, but I'm not going to let it hurt me twice, you know? It's like the classic Punnett square. If you worry about something and it happens, you suffer twice. If you worry about something and it doesn't happen, you suffered once. If you don't worry about something and it happens, you suffered once. If you don't worry about something and it doesn't happen, you didn't suffer at all. The game theory right choice is to not worry about the stuff that's out of your control. You can now fire your therapist. Help. I'm a public health worker, you're out of your mind? Yeah, but you're biased. Because you probably see like outbreaks and stuff every day. I live in the real world where it only happens on occasion. I can't trust you. Obviously, like, you got skin in the game, bro. I thank you for your service, by the way. I'm not saying fuck you. I'm just saying, like, you know, I think you're compromised. Oh, man. Right. I did like when I got a call 6 weeks after I had food poisoning from the health department, and they tried to go like Sherlock Holmes on that bitch. And they're like, so 6 weeks ago when you think you got sick, what's everything that you ate in those, let's just say roughly like a 2-week period? And where'd you buy it? Where'd you buy it specifically? And what farm did it come from? And I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, did you eat any cauliflower? Brother, it's 2 lifetimes ago. I don't know. I should have just said I had the new flatbread pizza from Tim Hortons. They would have been like, oh, rookie mistake. Hold, hold, hold. Can you remember what you had for breakfast yesterday? Yeah, peanut butter toast. If I got food poisoning right now, like, it's pretty narrow. Peanut butter toast, BB Go frozen dumplings. Western family bagels with Philadelphia herb and garlic cream cheese. And the Mexican restaurant I went to on Father's Day. Oh, that came down with way too much force, man. He's tangled up in blue. Is that one? I mean, if you assume that it's the Mexican restaurant, I think you're kind of like a bad person. You don't have any other data to support that hypothesis. Come on, man. Idiot Wind Son or Tangled Up in Blue Daughter? It's got to be Idiot Wind Son in that one. Tangled Up in Blue, goated song. Idiot Wind, maybe top 3 Bob Dylan, and it ain't number 3. Okay, well, that's a blessing. You just got to hold. You know what? Just push it a little bit more and I'll take it around. Highway 61 Revisited Son or Blonde on Blonde Daughter. Non-binary Blood on the Tracks enjoying child. If I had to, though, I guess I would say, Blonde on Blonde Daughter. No disrespect, Highway 61 Revisited. But you'll never be stuck inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues again. Zeus? Never mind, Zeus. I got it. Don't worry. Saved. Is the worst song on Blonde your leopard skin pillbox hat? Listen, I gotta go back to Blonde on Blonde. It's been a while. What's on Blonde on Blonde? I know it's got stuck inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues again. Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. That's a great song. Visions of Joanna. Great song. I Want You. That's a pretty good song. Just Like a Woman. That's a great song. Me finding out one of the best albums of all time has a lot of great songs on it. It's crazy that the dude was on heroin when he made Blonde on Blonde. Because, like, I don't know, again, having never done heroin, he just doesn't sound like he's on heroin to me. Lou Reed sounds like he's on heroin. Bob Dylan, I don't know, is he just coffee maybe? Hang on. Okay, I got to pay attention. One more cup of coffee. Exactly. You would be so funny on heroin, I bet. Don't come. Listen, you're probably right, but I'm going to guess that one. The juice is not worth the squeeze, man. I'm not going to get addicted to heroin for the bit, okay? We're just shuffling the damn ball back and forth. Imagine. It would be so good. No, it wouldn't, because isn't that like everybody who says they're not going to get addicted to heroin has like the same path? They like do heroin once and they're like, it's actually like not even that bad as long as you like limit yourself to like once a month. And then, you know, they keep that up for like 2 months total. And then you don't see them for 2 years. And they're like, so funny story. I got addicted to like one of the most addictive drugs that's ever been found on planet Earth. Me trying League of Legends. Dude, I'm so happy I got married when I was like 25 years old. Otherwise, like, I think it's dangerous for young men to have a lot of free time. Isn't that why we got all these fucking B2B sales guru fucking weirdos, perennium sunning, motherfucker, League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, Platinum Andes? Like, it's just it's the male loneliness. I didn't say we need a war, okay? You're putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, how did we get this epidemic of thread boys, man? Not you, Squeaks. You're not a thread boy. I don't think I've ever seen you tweet the thread emoji, which means you get the VIP lane into heaven. I do feel like kind of like being addicted to League of Legends is not as bad for you as being addicted to drugs. But I definitely think that it's worse than being addicted to doing caffeine. Like that, if you were like, what's worse? 4 hours of League a day or 2 cups of coffee? I would be like 4 hours of League by like 2 orders of magnitude. What about both? What's crazy is that if you're going to be addicted to League, you might as well be addicted to caffeine because it only makes it like 1% worse. I said caffeine, by the way. I did not say any other drug. So I did not say you might as well be addicted to drugs if you play League of Legends because your life's already ruined anyway. I just said caffeine. You did say it? No, you're paraphrasing me, and I was very, very particular about the specificity that I used there. There was a specific choice of words, okay? Hey, NL, have you seen r/meth? I'm realizing I actually bought early on r/meth. Like, I've been going to that subreddit once every 3 months and sorting by top this year for like probably 2 years, 2.5 years. Same reason I'm asking questions about like, you know, can you be a sub when you're the one doing the penetrating? So I don't have any experience with it myself. And I don't want to say it's propaganda, but my knowledge of meth from having never done it or really known anybody that's been addicted to it was basically that like the first time you take it, you turn into a zombie and start like ripping ATMs out of the bank wall and stuff like that. Then you go to R-meth and you realize like it's pretty bad. Most of the people that are on R-meth are not like, I love meth. But a lot of the posts are honestly kind of fucking funny, man. People will be like, I took a bunch of meth for the first time in 3 months. I've been up for like 2 days straight, and it's like a picture of their house, and it's fucking spotless. If you can't see a little bit of humor in that, like, then I don't think we'll get along. I think it's fucking funny that there's like a drug that's really bad for you, but like in the short term, the biggest consequence is that you like get really into into cleaning your house. Like in the long term, it's horrible for your health, mental and physical, and dental, obviously. But like in the short term, it's a big buff to your housekeeping desire. See, it's all about like zooming in on the graph. Hold. You know what's crazy to me too? This is I think there's like a maybe this is naive. Maybe it's not a generational divide. But when I was a young adult, I'll just tell you this is 100% sincere. I've never done cocaine. I was offered cocaine one time at a party by a stranger, and I said, no thanks. That's for dopes. I don't do that stuff. Then, like, the wisdom or the consensus when I was 20 is that, like, 5% of the population has ever done cocaine ever. And now the consensus is that, like, 1 in 3 people does it 2 times a year. What changed, man? Okay, yeah, I didn't grow up in the 80s. I didn't grow up in Miami Vice. Honesty, probably? I don't know. Like, it's blowing my mind. Like, sometimes my brother-in-law will tell me there's stories of, like, private schools where there's a cocaine bust and there's, like, a bunch of 10th graders that got caught doing cocaine. And I'm like, in the 10th grade? You shouldn't even be, like, drinking energy drinks in the 10th. What are you de-stressing from, man? Like, you don't even have a driver's license. You're gonna snort some cocaine and, like, watch Family Guy? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a party. That seems crazy to me, man. What age is 10th grade? I don't know, like 15, 16? Hold, hold, hold. I kind of feel like it's, I don't know. There were probably, I don't think there was, genuinely, I swear it to you, I don't think there was anybody in my high school doing cocaine. Lots of people smoking weed. Lots of people drinking underage, obviously. Maybe a little bit of pills if I had to guess. We made it, boys. I don't think anybody was doing cocaine. It was like too rural. Maybe an acid guy. Yeah, there might have been like an acid guy. How many teen pregnancies? Graduating class of 80 kids. Maybe like 2 teen pregnancies. Now you think about it, that's like 40 boys, 40 girls. So that's like a 5% teen pregnancy rate, which is pretty high, I guess, now that I think about it. It is kind of crazy to think that, like, my classmate who had a kid when she was 16, like, her kid is now older than she was when she had her kid. Like, she's probably going through some, like, empty nest shit. I hope she's doing all right. How's her kid doing? I don't fucking know. I was trying to pass, like, calculus, bro. I had my own shit going on. I will say she didn't show up to school too much after that. And I was like, ooh, that sucks. Now that I got my own kid, I'm like, I get it. She's busy as fuck. Honda CRVs. So true. I don't know what it means, but so true. Was she super religious? No, I think she was just like I don't mean to be glib. I think she was just kind of like bored. I don't know. I didn't ask her about it. It's kind of awkward to ask like a 16-year-old kid on your bus, like, hey, what's it like being pregnant? Like, we were basically babies, like, just a few years ago. How about the dad? I don't know about all that. You're trying I don't know if you're trying to ask me questions that are leading me to a trap or something like that. I don't know about that. That's her business. That's not my business. Did he go to the school? No, I don't know. He might have gone to a school, for all I know. Maybe even at the same time that we did. He wore a baseball hat every day. I know that. And he had a goatee. I didn't see him too much. He didn't take the bus. He had his own car. Why are you laughing? No, he was not the gym teacher. I don't know who he was, man. Just, you see him one time, and then, the next time you know it, they're like, we're expecting. It's not like we were, like, close friends or anything. I will say, and this just goes to show you, like, how much things have changed. Definitely in 12th grade, there was a girl, so she would have been, like, 17, and she was dating a dude who was, like, 23. And we were like, I'd say as high school seniors, the rest of us were kind of like, that's a little weird. But we weren't like, that's problematic. Nowadays, I think you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're bringing a 23-year-old dude to prom? Like, this is the first time 80% of the people in the room have touched alcohol, and this dude's already been to rehab. Like, there's just like a life experience mismatch, man. But like 2006, little bit the same, little bit different. You got to remember, it was like almost 20 years ago at this point. That's why I say that like the culture that like I graduated from high school in is like more similar to the 80s than like the 2020s. It's a little bit like, I'm still living in the echoes of the Richard Linklater culture. You guys are all up in like Booksmart and Bottoms and like bodies, bodies, bodies and stuff. I'm playing catch up. Hold, 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 hold. Hold, please. Vladimir Geyser. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see the geyser. The Vladimir. Hold, please. No. Well, it's great timing. That looks like it's going to hold for a second. Wow. Never mind. This could hold it right at the spot where it always holds. Yay! All right, we made a lot of progress today. We go back tomorrow. Maybe I can update the title. Did we? Yeah. Spiritually. Good segment. Thank you, Prezzo. Thank you. Okay. Slash marker.